I earned 5,400 casino points on our recent Navigator of the Seas cruise. Tony earned more than 4,000 and somehow won both the slot tournament and the blackjack tournament. Now, we're turning those points into a 7-night European cruise from Barcelona to Lisbon. The balcony fare for just 2 people was $5,696. Our Club Royale offer removed that entire fare, leaving us to pay $345 in taxes and fees, and we got 2 of these rooms. But here's what surprised me. That same balcony was available at 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000 tier points from the sailing that we just went on. So, if I had kept gambling just to reach the next certificate level, I could have risked a lot more money for an upgrade I didn't need. Welcome back to Travel with Nick and Tony. I recently saw someone in a Royal Caribbean casino group asking, if I spend $2,000 in the casino, will I start receiving free cruise offers? The honest answer is that there's no way to know from that information alone. Because when someone says, I spent $2,000, that could mean 3 completely different things. They might mean that they brought $2,000 to gamble. They might mean they lost $2,000, or they might mean that they made $2,000 worth of total wagers. Those are not the same thing. Let's say you put $100 into a slot machine, you play for a while, win some money, and continue playing with that won money. By the time you cash out, that original $100 may have produced $500 or $1,000 in total wagers because the money kept recycling through the machine. That total amount wagered is called coin in. Club Royale points are based on that play, not simply the cash you originally inserted, and not simply the amount that you may eventually lose. So if someone asks whether bringing or losing $2,000 will guarantee cruise offers, nobody can honestly promise them an answer. One person might lose $2,000 very quickly while making huge bets. Another person might bring $1,000, play at a comfortable level over several sessions, repeatedly win portions of that money back, and generate far more play. That second person could produce more casino points while risking a smaller original bankroll. That does not mean that there's a guaranteed way to win. It means the casino is measuring your play, not simply asking how much cash disappeared from your pocket. Here's how that looked during our recent sailing on Navigator of the Seas. I finished with approximately 5,400 points. Tony earned more than 4,000 and his mom earned more than 3,000. At the slot machine earning rate that applied to our play, 1 point represented approximately $5 in slot wagers, or coin in. That means my 5,400 points represented roughly $27,000 in coin in. But I didn't bring $20,000 into the casino, and I certainly didn't lose that much. The money cycled through the machine as I played. My actual loss was approximately $1,200. Now, I obviously would have rather won. Losing $1,200 sucked, but it came from an entertainment budget I had established before the cruise. It wasn't money I needed for our regular expenses. The loss was disappointing, but it didn't create a financial emergency. That distinction matters because no cruise certificate is valuable enough to justify gambling money that you can't afford to lose. My approach is set the budget before entering the casino, choose a wager that we can comfortably sustain, play because we enjoy it, and then maximize whatever benefits that play earns. The certificate is the additional benefit. It should never become the reason to ignore a budget. Now, our regular casino play did not finish ahead, unfortunately, but Tony had one of the most unusual casino weeks I've ever seen. On the second day, Navigator held a slot tournament. It cost $35 to enter, and Tony entered and won the entire tournament. First place paid $500 in cash. That was a pretty good return on $35. A few days later, Tony entered the blackjack tournament. He made it through all of the rounds and also finished in first place and won another $500 in cash. I have never seen one person win both casino tournaments on the same cruise. Tony left with $1,000 in tournament prizes in cash, and he was very happy to have that extra cash. It definitely made the casino budget feel better. During the cruise, Club Royale tracks the points you earn. As you cross certain point thresholds, you qualify for different instant cruise certificates. On our August sailing, the certificate levels included 400 points, 800, 1200, 2, 3, 4,000 points, 6,500 points, and 9,000 points, and several higher levels that we will never get to, and that's fine. But these levels are not simply a ladder where every step automatically gives you a better version of every cruise. Each level has its own itinerary list. One level might offer a cabin for one guest. Another could cover 2 guests. One might include an interior room. Another might include a balcony or junior suite. When you board the ship and go through the casino, visit the casino host desk and find the instant certificate QR code. It's usually sitting right there on the host desk. Go ahead, scan the code, open the offer lists, and do this early in the cruise. First, look for a sailing that you genuinely want to take. Then, compare that cruise across different point levels. You need to know, does the offer cover 1 guest or 2? Which cabin category is included? Is it a guaranteed room? How much free play comes with it? And most importantly, what does the next point level give you that your current one does not? Do not wait until the last night to ask these questions. That is when people see that the NextCruise certificate is close and begin gambling with one goal. I have to get there. I have to get to the next level. But if you haven't checked the actual cruises, you may be chasing a benefit that you don't actually need. For this cruise, we were interested in a 7-night Mariner of the Seas cruise departing Barcelona on July 23, 2027. It visits Palma de Mallorca and Malaga in Spain, then Casablanca and Tangier in Morocco, and it finishes in Lisbon, Portugal. This was not a random cruise we selected just because a certificate covered it. Spain, Morocco, and Portugal were already destinations that we wanted to experience. That's important because the most expensive cruise on an offer list isn't necessarily the most valuable one. If you don't want the itinerary or can't use the dates, the offer has very little value to you. The best offer is the one that reduces the price of a trip you genuinely want to take. When we compared this Mariner cruise across the August certificate lists, we discovered something surprising. At 2,000 points, the Mariner offer included a guaranteed balcony for 2 and $150 in NextCruise FreePlay. At 3,000 points, it still included a guaranteed balcony for 2, but the free play increased to $250. At 4,000 points, it included that balcony for 2 and $400 in free play. All 3 point levels included the same cruise, and all 3 included a balcony for 2. The higher levels improved the terms, of course, but you did not need 4,000 points to unlock the cruise or to get a balcony. You already earned that at 2,000 points. That is exactly why the itinerary lists matter and why you should look at them on day 1. Now let's compare the 3,000 and 4,000 point offers. At 3,000 points, you received a balcony guarantee and $250 in free play. At 4,000 points, you received a non-guaranteed balcony and $4,000 in free play. The 4,000 point offer gives you an assigned cabin from the start and an additional $150 in free play. That is the better offer. But earning another 1,000 points requires approximately $5,000 in additional slot coin in. Does that mean that you will lose $5,000? No, you might win, you might break even. Or you might have a terrible session and lose far more than the additional $150 benefit. If you were already planning to continue playing within your budget, you might reach 4,000 points naturally, and that's fine. But risking additional money solely to earn another $150 in free play would make very little sense. Spending hundreds to get another $150 isn't much of a travel strategy. Look at what the NextCruise certificate actually adds before deciding that you need to get up to the next level. I finished with approximately 5,400 points. The next certificate level is 6,500 points, so I was 1,100 points short. That represented approximately another $550 in slot coin in. For the Mariner cruise, reaching 6,500 would have upgraded the offer from a balcony to a junior suite, which would have been nice. It would have also increased the free play from $400 to $500. A junior suite has meaningful value, but I had already earned the balcony for 2 that we wanted, and I was already down approximately $1,200. I wasn't willing to continue gambling solely because the next threshold was visible. If I had reached 6,500 points naturally while playing within my original budget, that would have been great. But I wasn't going to chase it. I didn't need to. We ultimately used the 4,000 point offer and completed the Mariner booking. Now we have the actual Royal Caribbean receipt. The reservation is for 2 people in an assigned, unobstructed ocean view balcony. The listed cruise fare was $2,848 per person. For 2 people, the fare totaled $5,696. The receipt then applied Club Royale discounts totaling exactly $5,696. That removed the entire cruise fare. Our remaining taxes, fees, and port expenses were $172.46 per person. So we paid around $345 total, and the balance due is $0. The reservation also includes $100 in onboard credit and $400 in FreePlay. That is the actual result from our experience. I lost approximately $1,200 during my regular casino play on Navigator. Tony separately won $1,000 from the slot and blackjack tournaments. And the points we generated gave us access to a balcony cruise fare listed at almost $5,700. We also need to be honest about the word free. The certificate removed the $5,700 cruise fare, but we still have to pay a few $100s in taxes and fees. We'll need flights to Barcelona. We'll need hotels before and after the cruise. We'll have transportation, meals, gratuities, and other travel expenses. And we probably will gamble again on board there, so we'll need an entertainment budget. Hopefully there's more tournaments for Tony to play in. So, should you keep playing to reach the next instant certificate level? Not until you know exactly what that level gives you. Set your entertainment budget first. Open the certificate lists. Find the cruise you want. Identify the lowest level that includes the number of guests and the cabin you need. Then compare it to the next threshold. If you naturally reach a higher level while staying within your budget, that's awesome. But never assume that you must continue simply because the next number looks close. You may have already earned exactly what you wanted from the start. Let us know in the comments, have you ever continued gambling to reach that next instant certificate level? And was it actually worth it? Subscribe to Travel with Nick and Tony for more honest Club Royale strategies, cruise reviews, and real examples of how we use these offers. Thanks for traveling with us, and we'll see you on the next one.